Alright, so the bobsled is down for maintenance, and so we are doing the zipline instead. Not what I signed up for, but still gonna be a cool experience, and yeah, I'll let you know all about it. Good morning, friends. So it is Ocho Rios, Jamaica Day. I have an excursion booked for this port, which is super cool. I don't have excursions for all the ports, but this is one that I booked something for. It's the bobsled coaster, and then we're going to Dunn River Falls or whatever, kind of combo ticket. It's more or less an all-day excursion. I think we'll be back on board at like 3:30. And we're meeting in the theater right now at 9 in the morning. So, which if you watch my channel, you know that's early for me, especially since I stayed up kind of late last night. So, but I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling good. I'm ready for the day. It's going to be a fun excursion, a fun adventure. So, I'll take you with me. We'll see what we see and do what we do. And we'll talk soon. So I made my way to the excursion's meeting point, which was in the main theater. The way MSC does it is they'll issue you a sticker that corresponds with all the people that are doing the same excursion as you, and then they'll call you by that sticker number or letter when it's time for your group to go. It was a pretty organized process. I've definitely seen it be a lot more chaotic before, but soon our number was called and we made our way down the stairwell and to the gangway. And of course they scanned our ship cards and everything to let us off the ship, and once we were outside, we went to a representative who was holding the same number that was on our sticker that we were wearing. The port here in Ocho Rios was very, very pretty. The water was super like tealy blue and crystal clear. And Ocho Rios is probably the port where I've seen the most excursion options, so there's obviously no shortage of things to do there. Once our entire group had been collected by the representative, they took us over to the main terminal and we waited for buses and further instruction on what to do next. It was at this point that they took the actual ticket that the cruise line had issued us, and in exchange they gave us a wristband that gave us access to the bus. Brittany and I ended up having to wait a little bit. The person in front of us was the last one to fit in the bus, so we had to wait for the next one. But soon we were on our way over to the first part of our adventure. The journey over there wasn't too long, maybe like 10 or 15 minutes, and soon we were being dropped off at the facility where the Dunn River Falls experience is. And honestly, the area was a lot bigger than I was expecting. There were multiple excursions and events and things happening there. There were absolutely tons of people from other cruise ships and resorts and things like that, and it was actually really quite scenic. One thing to note is you do have to have water shoes. They won't let you go out there with any other kind of footwear. The information on what to bring through the MSC excursion said that they were optional, but they were not, and we ended up having to buy them. And we also had to rent lockers because you're not allowed to bring any of your stuff with you. I had a little plastic sleeve for my phone, so I was able to bring that. The only thing is that the footage is a little bit blurry compared to how it would normally be, but it was nice to be able to at least document what was happening. And honestly, the walk up the falls was a lot longer than I was expecting, and it also was quite a bit more dangerous than I realized it would be. It was fine and I had a lot of fun with it, but there are definitely places where you could slip and fall and hit your head, etc., so just be mindful of that. Once you reach the top and exit the falls, you enter like a shopping village. Be mindful that the person who was your guide up the falls does expect gratuities at the end, and they're very pushy about it. We were told when we first got there that tipping was optional, but turns out it is very, very expected. All my money and everything was in the locker, so I told him that I would tip him out afterwards, and he seemed pretty annoyed by that, and he actually held me to it and hunted me down afterwards. I'm definitely all for tipping for exceptional service, but I'm not a fan of situations where it feels like I don't have a choice. But anyway, soon we were back on the bus because we'd only done half of our excursion at this point. We still had a whole other part of it to do, which was to go up to their mountain park and ride the bobsled coaster. Once we got to the initial starting point, we had to go up to the top of the mountain, and so we had to ride a ski lift, which was cool, but I also found it terrifying. One thing that I did like is that it gave us a scenic kind of view of the MSC Divina docked in the Ocho Rios harbor, but especially as we got closer to the top, I was hanging on for dear life. When we got to the top, there was an area where they had like a gift shop and some like food and drink for sale. They also sold cigars there, and we were offered weed by a couple of people. It was at this point that we were told that the bobsled coaster was down for maintenance. They were trying to get it to open up for us, but for whatever reason they couldn't. So they let us ride a couple of the other attractions, including this little like dangly coaster, and then they discussed different options for alternatives because we did pay quite a bit of money to be up there. Alright, so the bobsled is down for maintenance, and so we are doing the zipline instead. Not what I signed up for, but still gonna be a cool experience, and yeah, I'll let you know all about it, and we'll talk soon.
I would say that the zipline was a good alternative activity for us. There was actually quite a bit more to it than I was expecting. I thought there would be maybe 1 or 2 lines, but we ended up getting to zip down the mountain on like 7 or 8 different zip lines. Unfortunately, it's not possible to bring your phone out there, so I got literally nothing to show for that. But when we ended up on the final platform, more gratuities were expected, and I was very low on cash at this point, so make sure you bring enough cash if you ever do this excursion. Going back down the ski lift was somehow less scary than it was going up, and really it was quite lush and beautiful. And then we were dropped off at the ship where we scanned back in, and I made my way back to my room.
Hi friends, so I am back from the ziplining / Dunn River Falls thing. What a day. Very fun excursion. Honestly, one of the best I've been on, maybe. And it was great that my table mate Brittany was there with me. It just coincidentally, we booked the same excursion and had each other to kind of lean on throughout the day and process. And then, yeah, I'm probably not gonna go to dinner tonight. I might just go grab a pizza or sandwich or something and then call it an early one. I might take a long nap and then do late night festivities, but I'm not really sure. We'll see how it goes. I've been going nonstop since we boarded, so it might be nice to take kind of a night off. But yeah, you'll see what happens, and by the time you see this, I'll know what happened. But anyway, I'm definitely hungry because we didn't have food at all today. There were places that like sold food and stuff, but I didn't buy anything, and I didn't eat breakfast before, so definitely time for some food. But yeah, we'll talk soon.
So I made my way down to the cafe and grabbed a sandwich, and I sat in there for a little bit. It was only about 7:30 at night at this point, so I decided to go hang out in the lobby for a little bit. And I, of course, grabbed an old-fashioned because I hadn't actually had anything to drink yet. I was definitely exhausted, but I felt like it was too early to end things at that point. And the lobby atrium on the MSC Divina has a nice, relaxing vibe to it.
I was standing on the borders, the world outside. You were searching for a place to hide, lost and lonely. Now you've given me the will to survive. With her hand, love will keep us alive.
All right, y'all, so it is bedtime. I did just go down and get that sandwich, and now I'm gonna go to bed and call it an early night and all that stuff, like I said earlier. It's nice to have a little bit, you know, of some chill time on a cruise like this, especially a long one like this. You know, take breaks when needed. And I'm gonna get up tomorrow and maybe do breakfast, but probably not. I don't know. Can't seem to get up in time for that. But I do plan to get up and do some sort of exercise in the morning before I eat, either way. So, yeah, I want to thank you all for traveling with me. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and y'all have a good night.